All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's put your hands together for the bad boys of heavy metal, Hudson's very own, Third Degree.
We were playing in, small bars out in the boonies when we were 16. With our parents coming out to, so we could be in there legally. It was pretty fun.
We came around the name Third Degree from a friend of ours. We were sitting around the basement, utterly bored one day, trying to think what we should call ourselves. And of course, a few lewd, crude names came about, but we had to settle with Third Degree. It was just some names drawn in a hat that came up. We all decided it was cool, and it stuck. No, I just like to sing. I like to entertain as much as I can. I'm rather shy most of the time, but I'm in my own little world on stage. I try to be what people expect me to be, but individual at the same time.
It was kind of like a rival thing throughout school, and I was 2 years older, and it's like I always wanted to be in their band, that was the bottom line. It was like they were younger, but I looked up to them, they were doing what I wanted to do,
No, I've always liked the guitars and the drums and everything else, and I just fell into that groove thing, and any form of music that could give me the groove, and then anyone that could show me how to perform it.
Would you define the groove, please?
What does that mean?
Groove.
Madonna's hot. I'd play tambourine for Madonna.
I've been playing guitar since I was 8 years old, so actually it just seemed like the next thing to do is start playing with other people.
Well, if you're talking the AIDS epidemic, I think it's made us all a little bit more careful. I think we look more towards, something that's steady, something we can believe in, have faith and trust with, You can look all you want. That much is still there, and the attention that you're given, I think that's enough when you're playing. That as long as you keep your mind together, you can just stay with that, because I don't want to die.
Being in this business, it's the typical stereotype of bands is
Sex.
right.
No.
But
say that one more time. I'm not sure I caught that.
safe sex is an important thing.
Tonight, Dolores had a few drinks, did some crack, and ended up another tragic story. Only she doesn't know it yet. Drugs make you forget. And if you forget how risky sex can be, you could catch the AIDS virus and not know it for months, even years. AIDS, another way drugs can kill.
Here's one time it doesn't matter who your neighbor is. Here's the other. Life's too short. Stop the hate.
Vince, that new dummy cam is great.
Yeah, it'll sure give people a whole new outlook on what it's like when you don't wear a safety belt.
I think they'll get the picture.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
But I can't beat all the flowers when my cup's already
We have absolutely nothing in common. And we're only sitting in the same spot because we have to.
Well, I'd say that real obvious one would be music. That's probably why we're all here. Otherwise, I think we're all pretty much individuals.
Our age bracket is really close too, and that helps a lot for musical direction. Definitely.
We must think on somewhat of the same plane. Being around each other so much and for so long. I mean, we're talking a couple of you guys, 20 years. And then spending, days after days looking at your ugly mugs. I mean, we gotta like each other. We gotta get along somehow.
It's hard to not get along, really.
People would put us up in their houses, they'd say, they'd let us stay there, and it was great. I mean, the hospitality was so excellent, I think that's what keeps me thriving to do this, is everybody's so nice to us. And I don't know, we're so laid back as far as staying in hotels and stuff. You hear the rumors of bands throwing TVs out the windows and, just putting holes through the walls with guitars and stuff. That's just not us. We're just too laid back for that.
Funnier than hell is Pat. He brings out everything. In any situation, he always seems to make us laugh and forget about whatever's getting us down.
I really respect him. He helps me out a lot as far as my music and playing. He's the one who always tells me, wait, you're doing this wrong, you gotta do it like that. First real gig I did was 5th grade for the Christmas program at school. I was played the little drummer boy right in front of, I don't know, 50 people. Right up, I was jamming right along with the little drummer boy. That was my first gig.
Dan is an awesome drummer.
Actually, Dan is kind of quiet, but he's very opinionated, and he usually says what he thinks. I was walking home from here, actually, and Bradley over there picked me up, and we started talking about music, and he said that they were looking for a singer, and I said, "Aye, here." And the rest is, well, they just gave me first time I got on stage, we'd never practiced. They just gave me a tape and learned this, this, and this. And that was about it.
He's got a great voice, and with time, it's only going to get better.
He's somewhat quiet. He's excellent. He's got a lot of potential. I think he's going to really do good for us.
When it's out, I whip it out. I got me a rock and roll band. It's a free for all.
My parents at first didn't really like the idea. I know things really didn't come together until I was away from home for a while. But I came back and I managed to join up with the rest of these guys. And they wanted things to happen like overnight. They want results now, and weren't taking into account all the hard work that something like this really takes. And once we finally started getting results, and we were still keeping our heads above water and not getting in too much trouble anyway, they decided that maybe it wasn't such a bad thing, and that they have turned and given me their support 100% now, and I'm grateful for that.
And Ken is Ken. He's really outgoing. I love the guy. We work together. We live in the same house. I mean, sometimes it gets a little monotonous, and he knows that, and I know that, but through it all, we're just the best of buds. I mean, he's a great guy.
In the midnight hour, with a rebel yell, in the midnight hour,
Touring would be a great thing. I mean, ideally, I guess anyone that's in this type of business would like to tour internationally, but I guess to keep things more in more in perspective, it'd be cool to start out with the Midwest and then start moving around the whole United States.
He's kind of hard to figure out at times. I mean, he's one of them people you're talking to him and he's just he's in his own little world, but he's catching everything that's going on. Very intelligent, musical person.
Brad is unique. He's so smart, and he looks at every situation as a whole. He just doesn't take one opinion. He looks at the entire situation as a whole.
People will come up to us and tell us how great we sound in a night, and that's all up to Adam. He's the man at the board, and he controls all the knobs.
Ick works his butt off, setting up the gear, and catering to my needs up here, switching my guitars every song, it seems, some nights.
And Paul, he's always coming up with new light schemes to add to the show. And he's constantly working his programs, and people do compliment on just the overall stage look.
He protects all living things in the forest. But he can't do it alone. Please don't play with matches. Put out your campfires. And never, ever forget the words of Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent forest fires. Remember how good it felt the first time you gave 5? Well, now there's another way to give 5. Set a goal to give more. 5 hours a week and 5% of your income to the causes you care about. It'll make you feel like a winner every day of your life. So give more. Give 5. 1-800-55-GIVE-5.
Tony had some drinks, a few joints, and got into a fatal accident tonight. Only he doesn't know it yet. Drugs make you forget. And if you forget how risky sex can be, you could catch the AIDS virus and not know it for months, even years. AIDS, another way drugs can kill.
Every year, thousands of people are killed with a frying pan. Reduce your intake of high-fat fried foods and help reduce your risk of cancer and heart disease. For a free booklet on low-fat eating, call 1-800-EAT-LEAN.